What is up, everybody? Today's episode of The Hobby with Cage brought to you by Arena Club and Blinker Trading. Special one. 200 solo episodes, The Hobby with Cage. But what's more relevant is if you're paying attention, this is 2 days in a row of episodes, and the second one of this format where I'm going to give you today's 5 minutes of hobby thoughts. I did it yesterday, and if you haven't watched that one yet, you should. It was a good one. It was about eye appeal. It was just kind of what I was thinking about yesterday. I consume a lot of hobby content. People send me podcasts. People send me, IG Lives. People send me a lot of stuff. It makes it pretty easy for me to do my hobby minute, the news, which sometimes is more joke than news. Actually, almost all the time is more joke than news. But first minute already gone here. I'm going to spend another couple seconds just to say thank you, because there have been folks who have been with me for 1,000 episodes of Luka, Tiger, LeBron, and now another 200 episodes of the Hobby with Cage solo, not to mention all the news and all that stuff. That's a lot of content, and I know a lot of you guys have been with me since the very beginning or close, and thanks for that. It's a different hobby. It's changed a lot in the last 6 years of doing this, 5 years of doing this, content almost daily. I kind of miss some of the daily stuff, and maybe this new format will help me get there. And I'll tell you where my brain is today. And after kind of shitting on the eye appeal yesterday, it'll be a little different tone and tenor. I'm sure people will hate this also. Because there are some real diehard collectors, some diehard, fans are fanatics. Collectors are, what I would call, the top of the fanatic food pyramid. And a lot of people come in, they start collecting, they collect what they like, right? Collect what you love, and there will never be a problem. And, for some people, that's very, very easy. It's, they like the Indianapolis Colts, or they like a specific player and they only collect that player. And, they like a specific card or year or design. It makes it very easy. Just continue to just, hoard that stuff. For me, my hobby thought of the day here is you're allowed to change your mind. And I'm here to tell you that I change my mind pretty often. And part of the reason for that, I think, is I've realized that what I love about the space, what I love about cards and the hobby is not the same as what everybody else loves. People love hoarding. They want to own every single Fernando Tatis card, and there is nothing wrong with that. My favorite thing is not just the chase, but it's the lead up to the chase. I love researching. I love learning about a new segment of the space, a new sport, a new set, a new card, a hidden pocket that doesn't get the love that it deserves, a player that might not be getting the love they deserve, a card of that player that people didn't even know existed. Something that is rarer than you would realize, something that, because of the generation that a person played in and the cards being made, maybe they don't have it. For example, game used autographs on card. Like, some players, based on when they play, just don't have too many of them. But then you find that they did have one, and for some reason it doesn't sell for as much as you would think it would, given the rarity and scarcity of it. I love learning about the new stuff like that. I love the chase afterwards, the trying to find those cards that are not readily accessible to everybody. And because I've found that that's the portion that I love, I find myself going from being a vintage baseball collector to collecting more of the shiny modern stuff, to, looking for, low numbered shiny modern stuff, to, going from baseball to basketball to football to, stuff that has some sort of a nostalgic draw to me. Now it's, I've started looking for more, game use type items, because I think that is a cool, art type piece. Do I know if that's where my PC is going to stay for the next 10 years? Who the hell knows? I may find something else that I love and something else that I want to start going after. And I guess part of what my 5-minute thought of the day is that it's okay for you to do the same thing. That doesn't make you less of a collector or less of a participant in the hobby, no matter how you do it. You may want to collect every base card of a certain player, or, a million Chicago Cubs cards. Who knows? Do it however you want to do it. Don't let anybody tell you the way you're doing it is wrong. Look at what I'm doing. I mean, I can tell you today that my PC does not have a card in it that I've owned for more than a year. That's somebody who's been doing this since the 80s. That's not true. There's a couple of them, but nothing that's worth more than $1,000. Every big card that I previously owned, big card, I have moved to get into something else that I've done research on and think that might be a better place for me to, focus my hobby energy and my hobby funds on. And that's all right. And that's my hobby thought of the day. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for staying with me for 1,200 plus episodes, plus the rest of the content and all that. And let me know what you think about this. Should I do 5 minutes of thoughts every day? Because I think I'm gonna, whether you tell me you want to or not. I'll talk to you guys soon.